Hey there everyone, Rick Ucchino back here again in this chair for Sportskeeda Wrestling after a 5-day getaway for a buddy's bachelor party in which I drank, admittedly, way too much and donated way too much of my own money to the great state of Ohio. So believe me when I tell you I am happy to be back in this chair talking about Monday Night Raw. And before we get into everything that we saw last night, at least the important things that we saw last night, do me a favor. Click this button, subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this, plus exclusive interviews. Got a big one coming up later this week for NXT TakeOver, and so much more daily content that you guys are missing. So please subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss a thing that we got coming at you. Coming at you right now, let's get into it. It's our Raw recap this week. Let's take a look at what Raw got right this week and what made me want to head back to the casino so I could lose even more money.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Let's start off with what everyone is talking about today, and that is the encounter between Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss to close out the show. Now, if you missed it, allow me to sum up really quickly. Alexa called out Shayna Baszler to her playground last night, says she wanted to be friends with her, but first Shayna had to apologize to her doll, Lily, for calling her, well, frankly, just a stupid doll. Shayna, unsurprisingly, doubles down, ends up stomping on Lily instead, and that's when things got weird and got cranked up to 11, shall we say. We saw the lights flicker, we saw the pyro malfunction, and then we saw a visibly frightened Queen of Spades run to the back, lock herself in a room somewhere deep inside the Thunderdome, only to be there haunted by visions of Lily in a mirror. Baszler then breaks that mirror and screams as the lights go out to close out the night. For those of you unfamiliar with the genre or the movies themselves, this was a scene straight out of the Annabelle universe with a little bit of the Haunting of Bly Manor mixed in there as well. And if you're a horror movie fan like myself, I'm sure you actually enjoyed this. And yes, I'm gonna die on this hill. Hopefully not literally, but I do believe that there are people out there who enjoy this story and enjoy what Alexa Bliss is doing. I know the cool thing out there is to just shit on this on the internet because supernatural storylines have no place in wrestling, right? To each their own. And remember that, please. To each their own. At the end of the day, though, I think everyone's getting a little bit of what they want here. This was something different. It was something fun. When was the last time we had a meaningful women's feud that did not involve a championship or for some ungodly reason revolve around Reginald? I know people want Shayna Baszler to get back to being the murderer that she was in early 2020, and hey, if this demonic version of Alexa Bliss works the same way Bray Wyatt does, then this program could very well be the gateway to getting her there. For now, though, let's just all enjoy the fact that she's not teaming up with Nia, at least for right now, and she's not wrestling Reginald anymore. This is a step up, folks. We're also inching closer to seeing Alexa Bliss back in the ring competing again, which is a very, very good thing, but I'm sure people will go ahead and just hate on that too, because it's almost a guarantee that she is bound to bring some special playground elements into her matches as well. I'm really sorry you guys hate fun things. I really, really am, because for the better part of a year, Alexa and Bray Wyatt, when we've seen him anyway, have brought the entertainment to a show that has frankly just been lacking in that department for quite some time. Nikki Cross last night finally earned a true victory when she pinned Rhea Ripley. Granted, it was Charlotte who did the damage, but let it be written in the record books, Nikki Cross pinned the Raw Women's Champion. I asked WWE last week to start simple in rebuilding Nikki Cross, give her actual matches with real results, and we got that this week. Sort of. Both Charlotte and Rhea went to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville to ask for a shot at Nikki Cross after neither of them could defeat her inside of 2 minutes over the last couple of weeks. So naturally, we got the Raw special, folks. We got two opponents teaming with one another to see if they could coexist against a common enemy. And of course they couldn't. They ended up fighting each other in their tag team match against Cross and Asuka. Charlotte hit natural selection on Rhea and let Nikki cover her for the 3 count. Now, this does serve a couple of purposes. One, it showcases natural selection as a move that can defeat Rhea Ripley. 2, it progresses this Nikki Cross storyline wherever the hell it is that it's going, by the way. Slowly but surely, Nikki Cross is going to earn the respect that she should have already, or at least I'm hoping so. If I didn't know any better, I'd assume that they are setting her up to shock the world and win the championship. She did just pin Rhea Ripley. Doesn't that, by WWE lore, earn her a title shot at some point, maybe even getting added to the mix at Hell in a Cell? I'm not sure. One thing I am certain of, though, much like all of you, I'm sick of opponents being forced to tag with one another, and I hate champions being pinned before pay-per-view matches, so please, WWE, stop doing both of those immediately. Thank you. Moving on, the Viking Raiders did win a 16 Battle Royal to become the new #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles, and I am all for it. Now, the pre-match promo exchange was a bit long, but it did serve a purpose. AJ Styles reminding the world that Raw does have a pretty solid tag team division. Matt Riddle showed off RK Bro Sweet New Snake Scooter Combo merch, and we got to see The Miz slow-mo roll out of control down the entrance ramp in a wheelchair, which was genuinely hilarious. Now, I was pulling for Mace and T-Bar in this match because they desperately, and I mean desperately, needed a big win. However, they did not win this match, but did look strong in defeat, and ultimately, I got my wish here because I didn't want either New Day or RK Bro winning this match. By giving the Viking Raiders the nod in this one, you have now set up two different tag team storylines, which is a good thing, obviously. AJ and Omos, they can now fight with the Viking Raiders for a while, reestablish them as legit tag team competitors. Meanwhile, New Day and RK Bro, they can continue their rivalry moving forward. Eventually, Riddle and Orton are going to win those tag team titles. I'm almost certain of it. There is no reason, though, whatsoever to rush into that. They don't need a title shot right now. That can wait at least until SummerSlam at the very earliest. Also, while those two are fighting over the tag team titles, maybe, just maybe, Kofi Kingston will finally find himself back in the WWE title picture. His backstage exchange with MVP last night makes me think that Kofi Mania might still be alive and well. We'll just have to see how things shake out at Hell in a Cell. Speaking of which, if Kofi and MVP are previewing what is next for Bobby Lashley in that WWE Championship, the writing may be on the wall here for Drew McIntyre. During last night's contract signing, we found out that he and Lashley would meet inside Hell in a Cell, and if Drew loses, he can never, ever challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship again. Or should I say, again. That would be the better way of doing that since I did the whole Jericho thing. Anyway, moving on. Perfect. This is real closure for this rivalry. I do wonder how it's going to go down, but I fully expect the Almighty to retain here, probably due to outside interference, seeing as Drew specifically requested the cell to avoid just that. Now, whether it's something as massive as a returning Brock Lesnar or someone like Jinder Mahal, I believe we'll know who McIntyre's next opponent is before Hell in a Cell comes to a close. Speaking of Jinder Mahal, y'all remember him, right? The man they brought back weeks ago, but now we haven't seen since. I also mentioned before, Bray Wyatt still MIA, as were several members of the women's division last night, but the most mind-boggling member of the Raw roster who was not there last night, who did not compete for another week, is Damian Priest. You're telling me that you have a 3-hour show to fill with an unnecessarily shrinking roster and you can't find the time to give Damian Priest a match against literally anybody? How about something fun? How about Damian Priest versus Mustafa Ali? Give me something. Bring up somebody from NXT. I don't care. Find something, anything for this man to do. The fact that you seemingly cannot figure out what is next for him is malpractice at its finest. This is a guy that should be working his way up to the WWE title picture, not sitting around in the back as a victim of, sorry, creative doesn't have anything for you. That's our video this time around. Hopefully we'll see Damian Priest next week. Hopefully Raw continue to get a little bit better and hopefully this weekend I won't lose as much money as I will be out again going to my buddy's wedding. I don't think there's possibly any chance that I could lose as much money as I did this past weekend, but I will not be here for my SmackDown video, so please come back and watch our next post-Raw video here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Again, I got another big interview coming out this week. You'll see that and so much more. Please subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel.